dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. You're probably like, damn, he's just dropping them podcasts on that ass. Oh, yes, I ain't messing around today, folks. No way, no how. And I was so excited to get to the show. Full Gear, we're talking about 2025 in Newark, New Jersey. Exhale, Bertoni and Brian on commentary with Don Callis sprinkled here and there. I love this stage. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. And yes, I did watch the tailgate thing. I was going to do it as a separate show, but I was like, yeah. I saw it. There was a lot of cool stuff. There. I wanted to get the Full Gear because I was like, all right, let me power through the tailgate stuff, but I want Full Gear. And I kind of like, though, that the tailgate was not a YouTube 0-hour type thing exclusive. It was actually going to air in the spot of Collision. I thought that was really, really cool. You know, giving people the opportunity to be like, oh, I can see this on TV and this and that. You know, not the traditional pre-shows where they are on YouTube in these days and times. But we have a CMLL, right, Trios Championship. Sky Team, very awesome name, versus Okada and Hechicero and Takeshita. But Okada showed up a little bit. He was a little fashionably late. He was like, I'll get there when I get there. Pulls up in the car. He's here. They try to help, but Sky Team retains. And it's just more tension between Takeshita and Okada. And as soon these two will battle it out. It's just the tension. There's a lot of things we're moving forward here. And a lot of things we're doing differently, especially tonight. There's a lot going on. It is in good old AEW sicko fashion. Then we have Darby versus the Bastard Pac. He's angry. He's an angry thing. These two beat the crap out of each other. Chops and everything. Darby almost dying and this and that. Pac, though, got the win. I have this really great picture on my phone. It's just Pac standing there and Darby's lifeless body's behind him. He's just like, yeah. That's what happens. Because you're not, jumping off this. You're not Mount Everest. Blah, 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 blah. It was about the wrestling. And Pac was the one to outdo Darby Allin. And I was like, okay. All right. So let's see where we're going with this. I don't think it's over. I think we're going to get another match with a certain stipulation. That's how it usually goes. Then we have the Timeless Love Bombs versus Sisters of Sin. The Babes of Wrath, and I like that Megan Bain and Marina do not have a cool name. It's okay, though, because this was an awesome tag team match here. And I love Timeless Love Bombs. I mean, these ladies all went crazy. This was just to pick a stipulation for a semifinal match in a tournament. Like, this isn't for the gold itself. This was just picking a stipulation for a semifinal match before you get to the finals. So it just helps Timeless Love Bombs to get the upper hand, as we keep going. We got the Continental Classic starting here this week as well. A lot of stuff tonight to digest and produce. They'll digest through my head and just munch on. Next match, though, the tag team titles match, Brodito versus FTR. I was like, son of a bitch. I believe 11 time, right, in AEW, tag team champions. Brodito has been dethroned. I was like, whoa. Okay, well, I guess I saw that coming. But, FTR, this was a really good tag team match. I mean, FTR always delivers. I just don't like heel FTR. I usually fast forward through most of their promos and stuff like that. But giving them back the titles here, we'll see what happens. And I like Stokely with them. I really, really like Stokely with them. I think that he adds a different element. I'm glad that he can sometimes just speak for them. And Dax and, Cash, they don't have to speak for themselves. They have Stokely as that mouthpiece. So I was a little surprised by this, and I was like, damn, all right. New tag team champions. What else do we have in store? Well, we got the national championship, a new champion about to be crowned here for the Casino Gauntlet match. Started off with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who won their matches respectively to get the upper advantage, and they kind of go at each other, but Gates of Agony comes out and beats some ass. Then Ricochet comes out, but overall Ricochet is the new national champion. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a love-hate relationship with Ricochet. If you're going to, and what's funny is, like, why do I even care about the national championship? I don't know. It's just a weird championship that we got that was kind of like, oh, okay, well, it hasn't been on TBS from TNT in so long, but, and it's just like, well, that the NWA is still running and they still have their national champion. I don't know why we couldn't do anything with them, but, background, oof. Ricochet's the new national champion. How do you feel about that? I don't know. I will say the belt looks good. It's pretty good. Next up, we got a no-holds-barred match. Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly in this sluggerfest, this slobber knocker, this awesome. And Moxley taps again. And, of course, he beats Kyle O'Reilly's ass afterward just because he's pissed off and this and that. He's all, these forks and everything and blood. And this is where the show was really revving up for me. But Kyle O'Reilly making Moxley submit again because something happens at the end of the show, which I'm just going to talk about now. Well, was it in the show? No, well, there's a promo Mox cuts with the Mox cult behind them, but they're looking at him like, this guy's representing us. We're the Death Riders, goddammit. Like, who's this guy? And Mox is like, yeah, Darby's this guy, this guy. We're living to fight another day, real wrestlers. And I'm just like listening to Moxley, but I'm paying attention to the team behind him, like Marina's face and Claudio's face and Pac and Daniel Garcia and stuff like that. I'm just watching him and look at Mox while he's talking. I'm just like, you see disappointment. They're like, this is our. He tapped out how many times now? Losing to Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, Mox put the hurt on him, but they're like, so I feel it deep down that the Death Riders, just like how the Judgment Day turned on Edge, this was long time storytelling here with the Death Riders, but I don't know who, and what's funny is I don't know who should be the leader of the group, and more or less Claudio, but I don't know. Does the Death Riders lose its flair? Because it went from being Blackpool Combat Club, then they got rid of Brian, and then they came into Death Riders. Are we going to see another interpretation of this group with Claudio leading it? Because he's the only one I can see leading this group. Yeah, the only one. So, but that was a very interesting tidbit there of him, Moxley, like, with the war, and his group just being like, look at this motherfucker. Huh? Look at this guy. Then we go right into the TNT Championship. Kyle Fletcher puts it up with Mark Briscoe, no DQ. And you talk about no DQ. There's chairs, there's ladders, there's tables, there's thumbtacks, there's all types of stuff, man. These two beat the shit out of each other. And I was so happy that Mark Briscoe got the win. This was a really nice, touching moment for even he's looking up to Jay. And I was like, oh, Mark, finally. I knew it in my bones. This is this match. They market this as Kyle Fletcher versus Mark 6, man. I felt like they delivered on all levels here. And for somebody that I just love, Mark Briscoe, like when he lost his brother, that hurt a lot. Because I love the Briscoe brothers. These guys are awesome. And, Mark Briscoe finally getting a championship and holding it high and proud after such a crazy match. And Kyle Fletcher, I got to give you some flowers too, man. Don Callis is on that desk like, oh, what the hell just happened? Kyle Fletcher, though, he put in some work on this. And Mark, congratulations for being the new TNT champion. Then we go right into the $1 million match. Oh, this made me get the feels as well. Jurassic Express, Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. Will the Young Bucks really join the Don Callis family? It's been teased. I mean, what did I say? They're going to turn on the Don Callis family. They reunite with Kenny Omega. And as I wear my Elite shirt, after a hard, badass match here and full of emotions, Young Bucks finally got their $1 million as they're walking up the ramp. And then we got a "You Sold Out," you know. And then the Bucks for the save. Fuck yeah! And I was like, I hope this is just it right now. And at the moment, they got me where Kenny just slapped their hands, like, no. And he's like, you know what? Come here, guys. And you got to give the people what they want. Oh, the Elite is back. Oh, it just made me so happy. The hug, just all the feels inside my heart. I knew the Young Bucks were going to go good at some point because they've been teasing it. If you've been watching the Be Elite 2, they've been teasing it there. So the Bucks and Kenny are back together. Hell yeah, brother. Oh, oof. Oh, that's just like, I'm emotionally spent. How much more do we need? And next up is Women's World Championship, Chris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné. Chris Statlander had a badass entrance. And I was like, all right, let me get set up myself. I know this is going to be a good match, but let me just set myself up for disappointment because Mercedes Moné is going to win this, right? No. I was like, oh, okay. They're not pulling the trigger at all yet. You know, I thought it was going to happen with Toni Storm, and I thought it was going to happen here, and I was like, no. Mercedes Moné is like, this is the one championship she cannot get. She can get all the bazillion other championships, you know, but not this one? Really? Okay, but these two ladies put on one hell of a bout, and my hat's off. And Chris Statlander, she's growing on me as a champion. I feel like there's other people in this company that could be champion. You know, of course I'm biased. I do want Toni Storm to be champion again, but you got Megan Bayne, who could be a champion. You got, you know, one of the Triangle of Madness, like Tekla and stuff like that. Like, there's so many opportunities, but I feel like, I think this is the end of this rivalry here. I don't know when or where Mercedes Moné can get another title match, you know. So we shall see, but Chris Statlander is still your world champion. Now let's get to the main event. Mr. Hangman Adam Page coming out to the Red Dead Redemption 2 song, right? You know, I'm not a big video gamer. Everyone made a big deal in the comments and videos I saw and stuff like that. Because I was like, oh, what is this? This is a new theme? And I went, because I didn't want to be stupid. And I wanted to go actually go do some research. And I'm like, no, stupid, it's Red Dead Redemption 2. Do you not listen to it? I was like, no, I don't play video games. As nerdy as I am, I do not play video games. Even the wrestling games, I got them. They're on the shelf. They make a nice little display, but I don't play video games. I try. I just don't have the attention span. But it's pretty cool for the people who do play video games, hearing Cowboy Hangman Adam Page doing some cowboy shit, like coming out to the Red Dead Redemption 2 song. Much love, man. And I love the fact in pro wrestling, you just giving it to the nerds, you know? That just makes me happy. Makes me happy. But man, a bloody bout. I knew this was going to be. Hobbs ripping the chain off the door like a monster he is. Hook's in there. It's just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Okay, Hook's going to help Hangman Adam Page? Hell no. I popped so hard when Hook hit Hangman. I was like, oh my gosh. And he took off the jacket. He was in the ops. Then he got hurt. Then he's out of the ops. And now he's back in the ops. And I was like, oh, I need an ops shirt. And talk about the thing that made me like get real goosebumps before we get to the other part that made me like, holy shit, was like Joe is champion again. For one, him bloody mess. This is why it's the thumbnail of this show. He looks badass. And I hope they release an action figure of this Joe with the blood, you know, and just with the championship. Oh my gosh. This is going to be my wallpaper. And I had to do it black and white just because, YouTube's like, oh, blood, ooh. But Joe is our new champion. A lot of people are like, oh my God, Hangman's reign was so short. Well, this is something that's going to keep us talking is going to keep getting spicy. I think I'm all for this. I love Hangman Adam Page. I was going to do like a little bit of a rewatch of All In Texas just because I wanted to and see Hangman win and stuff like that because I watched the documentary a couple times because it's not that long. But it's really cool and building to that moment, and Hangman losing was like, whoa, okay, anything can happen. This is what I love. I don't love the predictable bullshit sometimes. I love this, and I love the fact that Hook is joining the Ops, and I'm all for this. I'm all for Joe being champion again. And it's really crazy thinking like Joe and Punk are champions right now, you know, because of that rivalry going back all the way to Ring of Honor. I don't know. I don't know why my brain connected those two, but it did. So Joe is our new champion. Ops Dojo comes out. We're celebrating and stuff like that. Lights go out. We got to have a big surprise at the end. Whose house? Swerve's house. And I'm like, no way. He's back. I'm not the biggest fan of his new music, though. Okay. I understand we got to change some things up. When I'm down, you know, when you dance and stuff. This one, it was good, but I was like, I don't know. It doesn't hit the same. That's just me, but I'm just happy that Swerve is back. And Swerve walks down there with that swagger. Ops Dojo's in there, all of them. And they kind of separate themselves like a little beeline from Swerve to Samoa Joe. Then Swerve just gets in there and he just starts fighting, taking them all out. And Joe retreats and the Ops are retreating. And before Swerve can get got by one of the dudes, Hangman takes him out. And it's just Hangman and Swerve standing there, you know. I love when the House of Fire, I don't know. I just loved every single moment of this. I thought it was awesome. Swerve is back. Joe is champion. What is going on? Is the Death Riders going to finally turn on Jon Moxley? We shall see when it comes to Dynamite this week. That's Full Gear 2025 in Newark, New Jersey. Excalibur, Tony, and Brian on commentary. And the stage was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. I love this show. 2025 Full Gear, baby. 5 out of 5. Match of the night. Oh my gosh. I gotta say Joe and Hangman. Moment of the night. Joe holding that belt and looking bloody disgusting. Oh my gosh. So much good stuff here, man. I'm trying to get these shows as they come out on DVD and stuff like that, because on Blu-ray, because I want to own them forever. They're little tidbits, and like I need to have them. So, all right, y'all. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. Share it with your grandma. Share with the bum down at Walmart. I am KB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life.